Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So, as yesterday's short announced, this is the start of a new series in which we're going to review racing incidents that I witness or am involved in. So, for up first, we have incidents from week 2 of season 4. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all in the next one. This is incident 1, and this incident is I am to blame for this incident. So obviously, when as we do this and continue doing this series, I am going to be as brutally honest as I can and include me in the series where I feel that I have predominantly made a mistake. And if in some of these videos you think that I've put the blame of an incident on somebody else when it was actually my fault, I'd love to know in the comments below. But I'm just gonna get my keyboard and let's start with this. So obviously this is the F4 at Fuji Speedway.
48 point.
Hold your line.
18. That was your fastest lap of the session.
He's still there.
Still there. Hold your line.
Hold your line.
Stay on the left.
Still there. Clear on your right.
Okay, on the
Clear
left.
right.
Clear on the right.
What the is that? So before I hit play, I'll give you the as you guys would have seen. Lap 5 going 6, or it is lap 5. It was lap 4 going 5. This driver, car number 8, has the run on me. It's side by side, and we're both going into turn 1. Okay. Obviously, we both brake right around the same time. I start turning. I am on. I theoretically speaking, I feel that I am on the racing line, and so I start turning because I figured by the time I get to the apex, he would have already started turning, or he would go tighter to get that line. But that's not what happens, and my wheel then is in front of his as he starts to turn, and I hit him, and then that causes this cascading effect. So while I take the blame for this, I'll show you why. Because uh, right here, I'm going to go into cockpit view. When I was in cockpit view, this is the view I had. I could see that tire there, but it's just barely there, right? So I really like coming into this. If I like, I should have also watching this footage back when I was seeing the actual footage from the thing. I should have been paying attention to my radar overlay as well. But I honestly thought he backed off, and then obviously that happened, and that was unfortunate. But I'm just gonna come back here one more time. Sorry, but I also feel that while I am going to take responsibility for this crash, because this was me turning into him, because he had his the more of his car was ahead of mine than thing when this incident happened. He had more of a car ahead of me, so he was entitled to that thing, and I should have been more aware of that. And there to see the two where what I should have done, in my opinion, is the minute this happened, right? Like I should have been more aware of him still being there. I should have kept my wheels straight, let him overshoot, because honestly, if he's braking here, it's going to be tight, really tight for him, because you see this is the racing line, which you see by the rubber marks, right? So he was going to overshoot that. He was going to go a little deep. So I should have been patient, let him go deep, and then cut back across and done the switch back. That is what I should have done, and that. But I also feel that he could have, like, he had a lot more space on this side. Yes, again, not the optimal line. And when you're trying to break down into turn 1, you want to get as much thing so that the exit is good so that you can pull away. But yeah, but still, I think this was my fault, and I was the idiot in this situation. So yeah, I would love to know your thoughts. So
Go right.
incident two is this, and this was the second race of the day, first lap of the race. I had got a good start. I was already up a good amount of positions, and we're coming into the chicane. And this is what I witnessed. I'll play what I witnessed from the cockpit. Then we'll go over, like, then we'll ride on board with those drivers and see what the actual incident was. So yeah, so you see this going side by side, and then this guy locks up, and yeah, just goes for a complete ride over. This is the driver that locks up. You see he locks up, and then yeah, that was 100% he is his fault. We look at this incident chase. So here he is, and yeah, that's all she wrote literally. There's nothing this driver could. We look at it from his view, and you see, like, they're both going side by side, right? He's going side by side, and he's entitled to that space there, right? But he starts locking up. He knows. See, here's the problem with this. Okay. I'm gonna play it here. Let's see where he starts braking. He brakes literally at the 50 meter. He's trying to late brake and have a tight line at the same time. There was no way he was gonna make that corner. So yeah, for me, this driver was 100% because like he's not even started braking at the 50. He starts braking just after the 50, and that's why he locks up. He should have, like, even for this corner, you're braking about the 175-meter board for the normal line. So he should have been braking a tiny bit earlier, considering he knows that there is a driver there. If there was more free room ahead, he could have tried to outbrake this driver, but yeah, there's no way. Like, this is all this car's fault. So
Come on, Steve. Keep pushing. We might get him back. The next car is car number 9. C license. The leader has just done a 144.26.
47.652.
what the? So I'm coming into P1 following this driver. So obviously I know I'm not confident with the brakes, but I know that I'm going to have to brake a tad bit earlier because of that. And then you have this driver who just, and honestly, if you look at my thing, I brake just before the 100-meter board because I don't know what line he's going to take, and I wanted to be as careful because for me it was more about finishing the race. And this is the view from the driver who punched. Basically, I was trying to avoid making this mistake, and this driver just comes, punts me off, and continues. Honestly, goes wide, continues, and moves on like nothing ever happened. So that's what happened in this race, and this really pissed me off because again, I had that good start. I was going to trying to get into that rhythm, and then gain these positions back. And this honestly ruined my race because I then had to get towed to the pits, and yeah, I was then fighting in a place I didn't want to be fighting. So yeah, now on to the next one.
Clear on the left.
Come on, Steve. Don't panic. We'll get him. Car right. Clip on your right. Car
What
right.
the?
Stay on the left.
Right side.
Stay, you cut the cut.
Clear right.
Clear on the right.
Alright, next incident is in the Ferrari 296 at Zolder, as you would have already seen. And this is the first of two incidents that happened in this race that absolutely pissed me off. Like, it really, truly angered me because I started 14th in this race because I didn't do qualifying. I started 14th. I was running as high as I think it was 5th or 6th at this point. And yes, I made a mistake. And I'm going to give the run up to the first incident so that it makes more sense. As you will see now, I make a mistake here where I cut the chicane, which I get a slowdown penalty, which you would have seen. I give that time back. This car, I lose a position to this driver. That is fine. I get back up to speed and I brake later than normal. And this driver just this is braking later than normal. So I keep pressing. This driver just comes and just think because I normally start braking at full speed. Obviously, I start braking. This is my mark that I've been using, which has been working for me. This is the mark I used to brake for thing because if I'm not mistaken, that mark is just that mark is the 100-meter board. And because of the way this thing is, I brake sooner so that I can, because this is a chicane, you can actually cut a little bit. This is a chicane that you can cut. You can actually go over this without getting a penalty or an off track. So, yeah. So, oh, I still don't brake as I don't brake as my normal thing, but and not as early as I thought I was braking, but I still brake here. And obviously, you see, I can't do step by step, but I've just started turning in, and then I've already started turning. This guy just decides he's gonna go down there, and he just goes there, and you see he isn't even turning. He just keeps his car straight. And there's no way he's making the chicane. Because of this, I lose. As I'll show you from where's the rear chase. I lose my bumper. My bumper comes off, and I have damage for the rest of the race. He goes on to lose that position back to me in a few moments. He makes a mistake, which I take advantage of. No, I just brute force my way through the last chicane, and I get that position back. So then I'm running ahead of him. And okay, I completely forgot about this incident until
Car right. Right side's clear.
Clear.
Nice one, mate.
Car left. Still right. Still there.
You're right.
Hold your line. Clear left.
what the is this guy?
There's an incident in.
So this is the second last lap. Yeah, I think it's the second last lap of the race. Alright. We are entering the sector 3. I knew he was gaining on me. Sorry, I'm just going to restart this. Sorry. I knew this driver was gaining on me. So I decide. You remember what I said in the first incident about how I should have let him go down the inside, brake late, go deep, and switch back. That is exactly what I did here. So you can see that. I brake at my mark. I let him go down the inside, and
Nice one, mate.
I switch back. Okay, one can argue he was on the racing line. I have that slight 0x contact. I have that slight 0x contact with him, which okay. But then I have the racing line here, right? And I get the run. And I've pulled ahead of him. I've got more than half a car ahead of him. I've got more than half a car ahead of him. So, and I'm on the racing line. If he held his car straight like that, there was no problem. But you see that he goes wide, and then he starts squeezing, coming back onto my line. Okay, he touches me here, which unsettles me a bit, unsettles the car a bit, makes me go on the grass a bit, and because I feel like I was losing control, I start braking. No, I also started braking because, as you could see, 100-meter board chicane, tight chicane. I figured he was going to go straight down again and basically pull the same move. Basically, I would like if he was going to overtake me, he'd overshoot his braking point, and I would cut back like I did. But this guy just hits me like that, because of which I unsettles my car, and then he just ruins my race further, giving me more damage. And this time I actually destroyed a wheel.
Car on clear right. Alright,
What?
Steve. The next car is Richard. Car number
What
on your
is
left.
that?
Clear left.
Clear.
What a idiot!
You've got damage on the right side.
Hey everyone, it's post-production Teves, and I made a mistake. I forgot an incident, so we're just going to quickly go over that incident, and then that'll be the end of the video. And I hope you like the video, and see you all in the next one. So yeah, we are in Monza. We're doing the 3-hour race solo. I was doing it solo. This is lap 1, and I was taking it cautiously into this turn because within this lap, there were twice into the first chicane, and I think almost into the second chicane. I had to come to a complete stop to avoid crashes around me. And as a result, I was being cautious here because I had already got what's it called, notification that there was an incident. I was approaching an incident, right? So I'm just gonna rewind a bit. So obviously coming into Lesmo 2, I brake at my mark. This guy takes avoiding action. This guy just does what a lot of these drivers have been doing and goes right into the back of me. We're gonna look at it from the cockpit view. Obviously cockpit view. This doesn't show the rear view mirror like it shows when we're in the actual race. So I'm taking my line cautiously, and I just get turned around, and because of that, I think because of this whole incident, this guy also gets turned around. And yeah, this didn't completely ruin my race. It did put me dead last. I'm just going to see it from rear chase, okay? So we'll just watch it from rear chase once more, and then this is it. But yeah, this didn't completely ruin my race. It did put me dead last, but honestly, it was both a good and bad situation. Good because I had made up positions. I was running okay for the start. Bad. I mean, sorry, that was the bad. So that ruined that. But then good because it again gave me clean air, and I wasn't worried about drivers around me, and I just could run my own race. But here, last view we see from, and then that's it. So yeah, we go from the rear chase into coming out of Lesmo 1, and here we go.